Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Nev here on Rainbow Tarot UK. Thanks ever so much for joining me. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, then once again thank you for coming back and having another pick a card reading with me. It really does mean a lot and I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And if you're new, then great. It's great to have you on board. I'm really pleased that you've popped by, that you've decided to have a reading with me, and I hope it's helpful and you enjoy it. So today's reading is, what is your person's recent thoughts about you, about the connection? So we've got three piles to choose from. We have pile number 1, which is this card. It says New Life, card number 39. And then that is with the purple Howlite here. There you go, that's pile number 1. Pile number 2 is this card. It says Time for a Nap. And that is card number 24. And that's with the tiger's eye here. There we go. And then pile number 3 is this card. It says Between Worlds. Card number 3, Between Worlds. And that's with the Snowflake Obsidian here. All right, so those are your 3 piles to choose from. Just go for the one that feels right. You might be drawn to more than one pile, and that's fine. I sometimes look at more than one piles when I look at readings. It just might mean you've got messages in more than one pile, and you know, this is a bigger card reading. You can listen to as many piles as you like. But otherwise, I'll see you really soon in your reading. Bye for now. Hey pile number 1, welcome back to your reading. Thanks for joining me in today's pick a card reading, and we're going to be doing what is your person's recent thoughts of you. So you chose to come into the reading under this card, which is a card that says New Life. It's card number 39. Lovely. And also the purple Howlite here. So I'm going to put that next to my little heart here so that we can see it as part of our reading there. All right, okay, so let's get straight to it. Is everyone doing well? Sending you all my love as always, and hoping wherever you are, whatever you're doing, wherever you are in the world, that you are happy, healthy, that you know, everything is going as well as it can do for you. And also just reminding you as always that it is a general reading, so please just take the messages that fit to your situation. And it's timeless, so whenever you pick it up it should hopefully resonate. So let's get straight to it. So let's ask, so for pile number 1, let's make this reading, please make this reading as helpful as possible for pile number 1. So what are their person's recent thoughts about pile number 1, please? What is pile number 1's person's recent thoughts about pile number 1, please? Let's go for that one and see what we've got here. So we've already got New Life as the overarching energy. Then we've got Dream Wide Awake, card number 19. Dream Wide Awake. Okay. So that gives me the impression of, you know, make your dreams real, or bring your dreams into reality. Something like that. Make something real, make something concrete, bring something to life. And we do have New Life here, don't we? But anyway, let's get some more cards out before I say anything else. What is pile number 1's person's recent thoughts of pile number 1? What are their recent thoughts of pile number 1, please? I'll go with that one. Let's see what this one is. Trove. Trove, as in treasure trove. So this crow, or it's got a little treasure trove here. Things. All right. Let's scout our tarot. What is pile number 1's person's recent thoughts of pile number 1, please? What are their recent thoughts of pile number 1? So we've got the Queen of Pentacles. All right. We've got the King of Pentacles. Oh my God. King and Queen of Pentacles, pile number 1. Wow. Okay. We've got the 9 of Swords, 5 of Cups, we've got Death, and we've got the 8 of Cups. All right, okay, what's happened here? And we've got the 4 of Swords, right? So it feels to me with the Four of Swords being the overarching energy, the Four of Swords is a time of rest, recuperation. It's kind of like an inactive energy, really. It's not an active energy. So it kind of gives me the impression. We also have the Eight of Cups here. It gives me the impression that some of you are not with this person. Just some of you are not with this person. Maybe you are in separation from this person. And currently the situation isn't active, right? It's in a state of inactivity. Maybe maybe you're on a break or something like that, or you've split up. For some of you, you might be with this person and you're just going through a really tough time, right? So it could be that you and them are a couple. You might be an established couple with the King and the Queen of Pentacles here. But it feels very stressful. So your person is having a lot of stressful thoughts. The Five of Cups, they might be fearing the situation is going to be lost to them. There may be a fear of loss. Maybe you are in a really difficult situation where the relationship is kind of on the brinks, or there's a threat of loss in the situation, or a threat of losing it, walking away from it, leaving it. So this person might be very fearful of losing the connection, very fearful of losing you, because we've also got the Death card here. They may be having a lot of internal anxiety, stress, and it might be that they feel very, very tired in the connection. Maybe some of them are thinking that there needs to be a break in the situation. There needs to be rest and recuperation. So some of them might be looking for a break to move away or to move out of the situation. Or they might be worried or fearful or stressed or anxious that you might want to move away from the situation, or that they might lose the connection. Or it could be that it's already happened, that this situation has already come into separation. It's inactive. But what I would say here is that with the new life and the dream wide awake, I think there's something about this person, certainly if you're in separation, of seeing it as a sort of temporary separation with Four of Swords here. Because Four of Swords is about taking a break, taking a rest, getting the rest that you need through maybe there's been a bit of illness. Because particularly because you've got the Nine of Swords here, because maybe the situation's taken a lot out of them. But then coming back to it, right? Because you and them are stable. Essentially, you and them are stable. You're a couple here. You're kind of like counterparts. So I would say in separation, this person is thinking it's not the end. We're not going to stay apart forever, but we need this break, or I need this break. And if you're together and you're going through this really tough time, either this person is going through this tough time, or the couple, you as a couple, are going through this really tough time, this really stressful time. This person with the new life and the dream wide awake is thinking they want to transform it. They want to transform the current energy. They don't really want to lose the connection. They might see the value in having a little bit of a break, or having a little bit of rest, or having a little bit of recuperation, but they don't want to lose it. They simply want to transform it, because it's still something really precious to them, right? With the Trove here, it's still a precious thing for them, okay? The relationship is still very precious. And the King and the Queen of Pentacles, you and them are counterparts. Counterparts don't separate, or if they separate, they don't separate for any, they always find their way back to each other. So I think that's what this person's recent thoughts are, that if we do split, or if there is a split between us, or if there are problems, we can work it out, we can come back together. We might need a little bit of time apart, just to heal and what have you, but it's not a permanent thing. And in actual fact, I'm looking for new life in this situation. I'm looking for for us to get back to a great place again, for us to get back to a great space again, for us to be vibrant again, really. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. So what have we got in terms of zodiac signs for pile number 1? So we've definitely got, obviously with the King and the Queen of Pentacles, we're looking at all of the earth signs of Capricorn, Taurus and Virgo. We're also looking at Gemini energy, Scorpio energy, Scorpio twice actually, and also Pisces as well as Libran energy. So let's get some more cards out, shall we? So let's see. So what are their recent thoughts of pile number one? They definitely seem to be in a bit of turmoil, your person, I think, or they feel that situation's in turmoil. But the Nine of Swords is always sort of like stress that it's not that it's not real. It's not that that stress isn't real. It's just that maybe your thoughts are kind of making a bigger situation than what it actually is. That's a little bit of the energy of the Nine of Swords. So it is there, but it's like the way you're thinking is making something bigger than what it actually is, and that's easily done. You know, that is easily done. And the Five of Cups is always, it is about disappointments. There might be some disappointment in this, but there's always the Two of Cups there, and that's you two together. So maybe at the moment there's something about, you know, part of the problem might be a lack of appreciation. Somebody might not be appreciating someone. Maybe a person doesn't feel appreciated, maybe you don't feel appreciated, or they're thinking you don't feel appreciated. Something like that. What are their recent thoughts, please? What is pile number one's person's recent thoughts? No, what is pile number one's person's recent thoughts of pile number one and the connection? Main male person. Yeah, they still want to be the main character in this. They still see themselves as the main person. So that the connection, although it might be going through a difficult time, or there might be a threat, they're thinking there's a threat of it going or whatever, they still want to be that main connection for you, really. Let's get something else here. What are their recent thoughts? Renewal. Look, there you go. Look, renewal, exactly. And you had new life as your main card. So they're wanting renewal. They're wanting emotions, feelings. They want an overflow of emotions and feelings, and they want to be deep in the feels of this connection. They want a renewal of feeling happy, I guess, in the connection as well. So I'm actually going to put that one there so we can see it. Right, so let's get some more tarot out here. So what is pile number one's person's recent thoughts of pile number one and the connection? What are their recent thoughts of pile number one and the connection? We've got the Hierophant right under the Queen of Pentacles there. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. We've got the Tower. Yeah, something. They're either threatened by this situation falling, or it has fallen somehow. The Empress. Three of Swords, yeah, there you go. What are their recent thoughts? Recent thoughts of, there we go. The Seven of Wands and the Two of Wands. Yeah, things just sort of feel like a little bit stuck, or they're on hold at the moment. There's some kind of on hold energy, some kind of inactivity, some kind of, but also preparation, because the Two of Wands is often preparation, getting ready for something. So I feel like this person definitely still feels commitment in this situation. Wherever you are in it, they all feel very committed to it. With the Hierophant here, they're still willing to work. It's exactly what I said before, that you and them are a connection that they're still willing to work for, that they still want to hold on to, that they still feel tied to, that they still feel committed to. That has not changed. But there has been something here that's caused stress, and it's probably some kind of a fall, or some kind of, maybe this person is feeling, because you know what I said about the Nine of Swords, being how you're thinking, you know, magnifying your thinking about something. So maybe they are really worrying and stressing that they're going to lose it, or this situation is going to fall. If it actually hasn't fallen, there's a fear, a huge fear in them that they're going to lose you, that this situation is going to crumble, that it's not secure in some way, right? And you know, with the Empress here, this disappointment is not what they want. They want growth. They want growth, nurture, love. Maybe they're looking for more love in the situation. They're looking for the situation to be more loving, with the Empress under the Five of Cups here, which is about disappointment. It's about sort of like, but it is a little bit about, again, not realising the Two of Cups here that's just behind them. So maybe they're looking for a bit more recognition, or they're looking for, maybe they're thinking that you're needing a little bit more recognition in this situation, and that's kind of what they're wanting to maybe bring now to the connection. Three of Swords under Death, you know, there's a lot of heartache here. There's a sense of loss, a sense of separation, a sense of heartbreak. So if things came to an end, it was heartbreaking. It's caused them a lot of pain, I would say. But if you're together and they're worried about the situation being lost to them, then that they know that that's going to cause them a huge amount of pain, and that's going to be really, really, really painful for them. Now, it's challenging, right? If you walked away, or someone walked away, or turned their back on the situation, or maybe you both did, that's hugely challenging for them, right? That's hard for them to deal with. And if they feel threatened by that, or if they think that's going to happen, they know that's going to be really, really, really challenging. But it's a card of challenges that can be overcome, that can be dealt with. So essentially they're thinking, we can get this back on track. We can have new life, we can have renewal, we can make something a dream, or we can make our dream real again. We can make us concrete again. We can bring it back into focus again. And they might be in this period of, if you're not together, or it's a period of where you're not very active with each other. So you might be together, but you're not connecting much. You're spending a lot of time on your own, or there's not much communication between the two of you, whatever. I feel like this person is, what's underneath there? Look, the Ten of Wands. It feels really, really heavy. At the moment, it feels very, very, very heavy, like it's a heavy load. Whether you're with them or whether you're not with them, it feels heavy to them. And the Two of Wands is maybe about preparing, getting ready to try to renew this situation, to try to bring new life back into this situation, right? So I don't think if you're apart that this person wants to stay apart for too much longer or for too long. And if you're not apart, the change up of energy in this situation is something that they're looking to change with the Death card kind of fairly soon. And also the Tower, you know, like the Tower card is a great card, really. It's actually a good card to get a reading, because it says that it's a situation which is built up on falsehoods or on instability, and essentially it sort of has to come down in order for something better, more solid, to be rebuilt. And that's why it's a good thing, because it kind of gets rid of all of the insecurities or the instabilities, all the kind of stuff that was wrong in something. It kind of washes all of that away. And so you have no choice but to either let it go or build it up again. And I believe this person wants to build this situation up again, from the kind of ground up, in a kind of better way. That's their recent thoughts, really. And to stay committed, or to be committed to this situation, really. So what do we have? So we have Taurus energy. We have, we've got a lot of Taurus here. Taurus, and Taurus. We've also got, so Taurus is all about stability. It's about security. It's about living comfortably as well. So things being more comfortable, because this would have been very uncomfortable. This energy is very uncomfortable for somebody to be in, really, because it's painful and it's hard, right? So immediately after that, you've got the Empress, which is Taurian, which is comfort, which is luxury, which is nurture, which is love. So they're looking for love again within a situation that has been painful. We've also got Libran energy, and we've got Leo energy, Aries energy, Sagittarius as well with the Ten of Wands. Let's get out some message cards, shall we? So what are their recent thoughts of Paul? number one. Now we've got one that's kind of come out there that's showing itself, and I'm just going to take it. It's called the snake. Competition, enemy, clever, malicious, look over your shoulder, the other woman. So there might have been some very difficult energy in this situation with the snake here. But the snake is also about shedding skin and renewal, actually, funnily enough. And it comes right next to the renewal card. So what are their recent thoughts? The chaser. Chaser in a codependent relationship, fear of abandonment issue. That's what we've got. That might resonate with some of you. The sword and the rose, clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honour, protection and power. Right? Okay. So needing some truth in this situation. The runner and the chaser. So maybe this was a codependent relationship, or maybe this is a codependent relationship. Maybe this has some very difficult energy. Runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. So maybe there's some runner chaser energy here. Okay, what have we got? The butterfly, of course, relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child, growth, and of course, transformation, which is what you've got here. So this person is wanting maybe, so at the bottom, hammer, sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, working on it. So this person, maybe there was some difficult energy in this relationship, and now this person's thoughts are to rebuild, to have new life, to transform it, to get rid of all of this, which, funny enough, is what we were saying with the tower, you know, like getting rid of all the stuff that wasn't secure in it, that made it unstable, and then building from the ground up with the butterfly here. But anyway, pile number one, that's been your reading. I hope you've liked it. If you had, maybe you want to subscribe, hit the notifications bell if you want to hear more. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, everything. I would love anything and all of that. But otherwise, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hi, pile number two. Welcome back to your reading. Lovely to have you here. So we are doing what is your person's recent thoughts about you and the connection. So we have got this card here, which says time for a nap. Right, and also card number 24, the tiger's eye as well here. So you came in under the tiger's eye. So I'm going to put that next to my heart here so that we can see it still. Lovely. Okay, so let's get straight to it. You're doing okay. I do hope you are. Sending you, wherever you are in the world, lots of love and light. I hope you're happy and healthy and you are living your best life. That's, you know, I'm sending you all of that. And also just reminding you, of course, that today is a general reading. So we, you know, just take the messages that feel right to you. And also it's timeless. So it's good for whenever you catch it. But let's get straight to it. So for pile number two, let's make this reading as helpful as we can, please, Spirit. Let's give pile number two the best reading that we can on what is their person's recent thoughts about them. So what is pile number two's person's recent thoughts about pile number two and the connection? I'll go for that one. Let's see what we've got. So we have got engaged trust. Card number one, engaged trust. It's a lovely card, actually. Okay. Let's do that, actually, so we've got a bit more room. All right. Okay, so let's have one more. Probably do that, actually. Right. So what is pile number two's person's recent thoughts, please, about pile number two and the connection? What are their recent thoughts about pile number two and the connection? Yeah, okay, there's that one. Let's have a look. And we have got gentleness. Gentleness, interesting. I think that's water. Is that water over rocks? It looks like water over rocks there, doesn't it? Anyway, it's got gentleness, right? Let's get out of tarot. What is pile number two's person's recent thoughts about pile number two, about the connection? What are their recent thoughts, please? So we've got the Five of Cups. Five of Pentacles, okay. The Nine of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles. What are their recent thoughts? Got the Wheel of Fortune, those came out together, and the Seven of Swords. Four of Wands. Oh, this is a bit of a mix, isn't it? What are their recent thoughts? I feel like this person's a little bit I feel like this person's a little bit mixed in their thoughts and in their thinking. And also, it's like they, I feel like they might be wearing a little bit of a mask here with the Seven of Swords. Right, so I think they might be inwardly, there might be certain things going on with this person that they're not, it's not apparent, or they're not sharing with you. So if you have kind of got the inkling, or so it might be intuition, that they are keeping things from you or keeping certain thoughts from you, then I think you're probably right. Because my sense is that with the Seven of Swords here and the Wheel of Fortune, this person might have a little bit of a changeable character, or something about them that you can't quite pin down, if you know what I mean. Because the Wheel of Fortune is a little bit of an unstable energy, and it comes right next to the Seven of Swords, which is also an unstable sort of an energy that's kind of very secretive, or yeah, there's a little bit of a mask. There's something about them. So their kind of recent thoughts are thoughts that they very much want to keep to themselves, particularly the negative ones, because I think they've got some negative ones here. And I think the negative ones are that they feel a sense of lack somehow in the connection with the Five of Pentacles, and a sense of disappointment, but they might not be showing you that. Right? I feel like on one hand, they're sort of, because the overarching energy is the Four of Wands, so it might feel like everything's okay, or they might be saying that everything's okay, or giving you the impression that everything's okay, that you're happy, that all's going well. But there's also, underneath that, for some reason, this person might be feeling that they need a little bit of a break, or there's some sort of disappointment or some sense of lack here. Something like that. That's kind of one way of reading it. Yeah, there's definitely something about this person's energy that is, yeah, that's not being entirely kind of up front, really. It's not being up front, really. Because I feel like, just intuitively, I feel like maybe you are in a connection with them, you're thinking everything's going okay, but underneath it, they're not feeling great. They're feeling, yeah, this sense of lack, or this sense of disappointment. And, you know, they're not showing that to you. So there's a sense of, what they're showing you is that they, you know, they think it's great, they think you're great, they want to be in a relationship with you, they want to take things slowly, they want to build the connection, they, you know, they want, with the engaged trust, they want the connection to be trustworthy. Maybe there's a commitment here. It could be that you're in a committed relationship with them, with the Four of Wands. And on the it's something like, on the surface, everything looks fine, everything looks okay, everything looks good, but underneath it, this person is feeling unhappy. or feeling sad or something like that. Now, if you're not with them, that's kind of it. So that's the sort of energy if you're with them. If you're not with them, if you're in separation from this person, I would say that they want some sort of renewal here. They want some kind of renewal. They want some kind of reconciliation, maybe slowly. But there's something about this person that you probably can't trust here. Right, I know it says engaged trust, and that sounds contradictory, but I just feel like there's something, because you've got the Seven of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune, which is unpredictable energy. There's something about this person that wears a mask. So they maybe want you to trust them, kind of feel that they have to do everything to try and get your trust, but I don't feel that they are trustworthy, that they're still unpredictable, they're still not stable energy. So again, they're giving the impression of something that they're not. I think that's what I would say here about this person. So I suppose their recent thoughts is to think that they can't be themselves in this connection, or they can't reveal themselves in this situation fully. They can't be what they really are, or how they really feel. They can't somehow show that to you, because maybe it's maybe they're thinking that if you knew, you wouldn't stay with them, or you wouldn't trust them, and you might have every reason to feel like that, particularly if they've got this like Seven of Swords energy or this. So there's something also about them thinking they've got to present in a certain way. They've got to present more committed or more into the situation than they're really feeling. And I think I just need to be honest here. That's kind of what my sense is. So their recent thoughts is I need to hide how I'm really feeling, or the doubts that I'm feeling, or the doubts that I'm experiencing, or the fact that I'm not happy, or that I feel this situation is lacking somehow. Somehow I need to hide that, really, right? From pile number 1. So like I say, if you had those sort of intuitive feelings, or that funny kind of feeling about this person not really being fully open and honest with you, then I would say you are correct on that, right? Because they are hiding this dissatisfaction with the situation if you're with them. And if you're not with them, they want to come back towards you, but they're not, they're not going to be reliable. They're not going to be they're not going to be reliable with the Wheel of Fortune. They're going to come in, get what they want, and then they're going to go again, but they're going to present as if they are someone that you can trust. So that's just honestly how I'm seeing the situation, pile number 2. So we've got, what have we got? So we've got Scorpio energy, we've got Taurus energy, Pisces energy, and also Cancer. We've also got all the earth signs of Capricorn, Taurus and Virgo, as well as Aquarius energy and also Aries energy. So let's get out some more cards here. What are their recent thoughts of pile number 2, please? So maybe their recent thoughts is I can't reveal myself as I am, to pile number 2. Great happiness, because they wouldn't be into it, obviously. Pile number 2 wouldn't want that. Bottled up. Yeah, exactly. So there's there's like, I've got to present really good. I've got to present really well. I've got to present as if I'm really either really happy in the situation, or I really want to be in the situation, or I want to be in the situation long term. But actually there's a lot of stuff bottled up. There's a lot of stuff that I'm not revealing, right? Something like that. Let me just get some other. Okay, so what are their recent thoughts of pile number 2, please? And the connection. Page of Swords, the Empress, the Knight of Pentacles, the Hierophant, the Four of Wands, the Three of Swords, The Wheel of Fortune again. Yeah, this situation isn't, this person is not stable. I don't feel like this person is someone you can rely on, but they're presenting as if they are. Or they're going to present as if they are reliable. Right, but underneath it, you've got this Three of Swords, and it comes right under the Seven of Swords. And Three of Swords is about loss. So I feel like this person is not someone you can trust, pile number 2. Because I think they would, if you're with them, they might present as somebody who's committed, somebody, again, with a Four of Wands, who is in this relationship with you, who wants to be in this relationship with you, who says they want to grow it, who says they want to do it slowly, who says they want to nurture the situation. But underneath it, there's this threat of loss or this threat of pain, right? Because they are not predictable, and this situation is not predictable for you. But they're doing everything they can, because they're wearing a mask, to convince you that they can be relied upon, that they can be predictable. They want you to trust them, right? They're presenting in a way which isn't really how they are, or it isn't really how they're feeling. They are bottling up or keeping inside. Maybe it's something to do with their shadow side. So they might have something within them that makes it really difficult for them to follow through on what they say, that gives them an unpredictable nature, an unpredictable personality. Maybe they've got a lot of insecurities or fears, and they can do it for for so long, but then eventually things break down because they're not able to sustain that. There's something about them which is some shadow element of themselves, which is which I would say is sort of like controlling them, how they are in the relationship. It just means that they're not reliable. They're not reliable energy. And they're very good at being able to present as they are, but they're not, because they've got all this going on underneath, right? All this sense of disappointment. Because the Five of Cups is about like just not being able to appreciate something, not being able to appreciate what's there. Always looking at the negatives. Always looking at the sense of lacking something. So, eventually, if you always see life in that way, then, you're not going to be able to hold on to anything for too long, because it's, you're always somehow brought down by that kind of negativity. And I feel like this person has got that within them, and it just means that they can't sustain. I don't feel they've got the ability to sustain a relationship or this relationship. But they feel like they can't. What's quite upsetting is they feel like they just can't be open and honest about that, or they can't sort of like reveal that about themselves. There might be a lot of self-doubt, self-loathing, shame. This person might have quite a lot of shame. All of that, which means that they, for whatever reason, they can't be consistent or trustworthy in a relationship, but they feel like they've got to present as if they are. So I'm just going to say that to you, pile number 2. And yeah, so I feel like maybe intuitively you've probably got a little bit of a because it gets too much for them with the time for a nap. It gets too much for them to sustain that, right? So maybe this is a situation where it's a bit of a stop-start situation as well. So sometimes they're all in and then they pull away. Sometimes they make promises and then they retreat and they pull back. And that's why you can't rely on them. Really, that's what I would say here. So I think what we probably need to do is, what is pile number 2's advice in this situation? I mean, is this ever going to change? What is the advice for pile number 2? Temperance. Stay balanced in yourself. Don't allow it to knock you off balance. If you can. I know that's hard. What's their advice? The Hermit. Ten of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Death. So bottom, Nine of Swords. I mean, I'm just going to say it as I see it, pile number 2. I'm sorry, but I know you probably won't want to hear this. A lot of people are not going to want to hear this message, but I just feel that really with this situation, in order for you to stay balanced, you need to step away, really. You need to step away from this situation with the Hermit card here. You need to be a lot more reflective of what's actually going on, really. Maybe you need to take a bit more notice of how this person is actually making you feel. Because we've got the Ten of Wands and the Nine of Swords, and those are both really, really heavy energies. They're heavy energies, they're hard energies, there's a lot of stress for you. And I would say with the Death card here and the Page of Pentacles, it's about you starting a new page for yourself. And the Death is about you kind of letting it go. It comes right under this line. Just let this situation go if you can. Because I think that will be transformative for you, because it's not, you know, it won't be stable. There's no cards here around stability for you. There's only Temperance, which says to me that you need to bring yourself into balance by stepping away, by retreating from this situation, to give yourself space, to really reflect on how this has been impacting you. And then maybe you might realise the kind of how heavy it's been and how difficult it's been and how stressful it is. And then you want to transform and have a new page for yourself, because I just feel this is somebody that could really affect your confidence, could really sort of bring you down. Not in the way that, I'm not even saying that they're meaning to do it, or that I mean, the stuff that they've got going on is probably stuff, you know, that, you know, you might want a bit of empathy for or compassion for. But if you're being impacted by that, then it's going to really grate on you, it's going to wear you down. So I would say it's better for you to retreat from this situation, to get some space. And that might be why you've got time for a nap, because you need to get space from this situation, to heal yourself, to look after yourself, to put yourself first. So that's how I'm going to leave it, pile number 2. If you found the reading helpful, then it'd be great if you gave it a thumbs up. You subscribe to the channel, hit notifications if you want to hear more. But otherwise, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hey, pile number 3, welcome back to the reading. It's lovely to have you here. Thanks for joining me. So today we are doing what is your person's recent thoughts about you and the connection. And you chose to come into the reading under this card, which is Between Worlds. There we go. And also the Snowflake Obsidian here. So I'm just going to put that next to my little heart here so that you can see it. Let's bring that over. Brilliant. So let's get straight to it. How are you doing? Is everyone doing well? Wherever you are, just wishing you every bit of good luck, every bit of love, every bit of light. And I hope that you're living the best life you can live, a happy and healthy life. Just want to send that out to you. And also remind you, of course, that today is a general reading. So just take the messages that resonate with you, and it's also timeless. So it's good wherever you are or whenever you're picking it up. So we just want to make this as helpful as we can. Please can we provide helpful advice and guidance to pile number 3 on what is their person's recent thoughts about them. What has been their person's recent thoughts about pile number 3, please? What are their recent thoughts? Okay, let's have a little look, see what we've got. Clear away old energies. Okay, clear away old energies, card number 38. All right. Okay. And then we've also got, what is pile number 3's person's recent thoughts about pile number 3? Where are recent thoughts about pile number 3, please? Look, it's that one. Bloom. Okay, lovely. Bloom. That's quite sweet, that card, isn't it? Okay, so let's get out some tarot. What is pile number 3's person's recent thoughts about pile number 3? What are their recent thoughts about pile number 3? 6 Cups. Judgment, the Knight of Swords, Five of Pentacles, Four of Cups, and the Queen of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so, excuse me. With the Nine of Pentacles being the overarching energy, the Nine of Pentacles is usually a sort of card of independence. That's one way of reading it. And I feel like for many of you, this could be somebody from the past that you're asking about, or somebody that you've had a past relationship with the Six of Cups, or, yeah, something like that. With the Between Worlds, it could be that you're not with this person. I feel like for many of you, you're not actually with this person. If you are with them, I think they're having mixed thoughts about the connection, if I'm honest. I feel like this person, I feel like this person is mixed with you when you're either with you with them, or if you're not with them. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. Either with you with them or not with them, this person's thoughts are mixed about this connection. I would say on the one hand, they, with the Six of Cups, and that's why you got the Between Worlds energy, right? They're neither one thing or the other. With the Six of Cups, there's a lot of affection for you. There's maybe a lot of memories. There's a lot of nostalgia. There's a lot of thinking back. There's like a soulmate. Maybe there's a little bit of a soulmate connection, or this person feels a strong bond with you. Maybe you've known them for a long time. But there's that kind of lovely sense of familiarity with you. And there's a lot of affection when that feeling reigns, if you like, right? But there's equally, with the Five of Pentacles, a sense of lack, right? And that could be because you're not with them. So maybe this situation has come into separation. And maybe this person is not sure how things are going to pan out. Again, why you've got the Between Worlds, because you're sort of separated, but maybe they're still hanging on to something in the situation and they're not clear, and there's a sense of lack in their world. There's also a sense of disappointment, a sense of apathy, a sense of, the Four of Cups is like, again, not being able to see the good in a situation. So there's a little bit of a mixed energy here. So this person has all these thoughts of maybe being disappointed in the connection, or someone being defensive. That could be them, or it could be you. So maybe they're thinking that you're defensive, maybe they are defensive in the connection. But at the same time, there's a lot of love. There's a lot of love here. With the Queen of Cups, I feel like this person has a lot of love for you, a lot of care, a lot of nurture, right? And also, if you're not together, this person is in between thinking, should I stay connected to pile number 3, or should I let the situation go? Because we've got bloom, and then we've got in between worlds, and then we've got clear away old energies, right? So there's constantly that duality going on, right? Should I clear it away, or should I nurture it? Should I love it? Should we let it grow again? So this person has both those is mixed. So when you're with them, they might be giving mixed messages. They might be giving mixed. You might feel like you don't know where you stand with them, because one minute they feel like you feel really loved by them, and then the next minute you feel like they're not giving out much at all, or they're not giving much to you, or maybe they're breadcrumbing you, or they're something like that. Now, if you're not with them, with the Judgment card here, part of them is thinking again about raising the vibration of this connection, about things leveling up, about things rising somehow in this connection. So there's a big part of that. But with the Knight of Swords here, there's something cocky about this Knight of Swords, isn't there, really? There's something about this that gives me the impression that again, the Knight of Swords is about coming into a situation quickly or getting out of a situation quickly. So again, it has that literally a double-edged sword to it. So I feel like this person is very much in two minds. Yeah, in two minds about this connection and about you. So should we grow it? Should it be colourful? Should it be prosperous and abundant again, or should it just be, you know, we've got the black and white here. Should it be? Should I let it go, or should I leave it if I've let it go already? Right, and at the moment, I would say with a lot of you, yeah, and there's also vanity here. I feel like there's a bit of cockiness in this person. There's a little bit of vanity with a peacock here. But I feel for many of you, you might not be with this person because we've got the Nine of Pentacles rather, as this kind of overarching energy, which is an energy of independence. Yeah. So what have we got in terms of zodiac signs? So yeah, very mixed. This person might feel like a bit hard done by. Maybe this person feels a little bit hard done by you, a bit hard done by in the relationship. Maybe part of them, when they get into that negative mindset, they feel like they haven't been appreciated, or you haven't appreciated them enough. When they think negatively about it, when they think in this side of it, right, the dark side, but when they think about the good side, when they get into a good mindset, they remember the good times. They remember how you made them feel. They remember how loving you are. They remember how nurturing you are. They want to raise the connection, but equally, there's something about them thinking, well, I could just cut it out as well, right? So I could just clear it away as well, right? So there's something about them that's a little bit, yeah, I think it's probably a little bit cocky, maybe. A little bit hard done by, poor me kind of. It's got that attitude of poor me sort of thing. Okay, so what have we got? So we've got the Six of Cups, which is Scorpio. Then we've also got Libra, Aquarius and Gemini, Taurus, Cancer, and also Pisces, obviously, with the Queen of Cups, and Virgo energy. So let's get out some other cards now. What are their recent thoughts about pile number 3, please? What's pile number 3's person's recent thoughts about pile number 3? Fear and stress. Card number 32, fear and stress. That would go with this. And then what else have we got? What's their recent thoughts about pile number 3? Relieved. With a star here, relieved. Okay. Let's get some other cards. What are their recent thoughts? Put these up a little bit. What are their recent thoughts about pile number 3, please? What are their recent thoughts? We've got the Strength card. No, that one there. The Knight of Rods, which is the Knight of Wands. The Page of Swords. Recent thoughts. The Fool. Six of Cups again. And the Three of Swords. And the Four of Wands. For some of you, this person might be with somebody else. That might be why you got the between worlds. They could be in another connection here. This might be a three-way situation for some people. So they're kind of independent from you, but they're involved with something else for some of you. With the Four of Wands here. It could be that you're in a relationship with them. You're in a marriage with them. You're in a long-term connection with them. But this person is kind of in two minds about the situation. Feel like, again, there's a bit of hard done by energy in the connection. There's this sense of loss here. Sense of heartache, sense of loss. This person definitely feels disappointed somehow in this situation. We've got fear and stress. That would go with that as well. Fear, stress, heartache, loss. So for some of you, you're not with them. You're definitely not with them. There is a lot of affection though. I mean, with the Six of Cups, there is, they do feel a strong bond with you. We've got the Six of Cups and we've got the Four of Wands. There is a sort of soulmate bond with you. But there is a mixture about how they're feeling and thinking, or their recent thoughts. So there's a mixture, really. So part of them is thinking, should we try again? But the other thing about the Six of Cups is that there's a sense of being too nostalgic about something. So maybe this person is thinking, am I being too nostalgic about this connection? Am I seeing it for how it really is? So there's also that sort of ties in with the fear and stress and doubt, really. So again, we've got doubt and fear and worry based on, also versus, should we have a new beginning? Should I come towards pile number 3 with the Knight of Wands here? Because the Knight of Wands goes for what they want with pure and utter, unadulterated desire and determination. Nothing stops them, right? And it's come right into the Judgment card. So should we go full throttle in trying to resurrect this situation? Should I try to get this situation back with pile number 3? Or should I remain curious about them with the Page of Swords, but without really doing anything, or cut them off in some way? Because I've got 2 swords showing here. Should I cut them off? Should I cut them out? But still be curious about them, still want to know about them. Something like that, you know. We've got a very, there's something about this situation which is, there's something about where there's a lot of history to you and them, or this person feels like there's a lot of history to you and them. There's a lot of nostalgia about it, there's a lot of affection for it on some level. But equally, it brings them a lot of pain and fear and worry. And so that's why they are in 2 minds about whether they stay in it or whether they let it go, something like that. And it could be because it's a third party thing, right? They might be with somebody else, or you might be with somebody else, and that might be why you got the Six of Cups twice, because there's actually a third element. There's maybe somebody else is in a connection, or you're in a connection, or both of you are in a connection, and you're in between. So this relationship is a relationship that's between, the in-between one, the one that's not the main significant one, or the one that's not the one that's kind of in some sort of shadow or something. Which means that this person is neither in it nor out of it, okay? And they're constantly going between the 2 worlds. They're constantly oscillating, really, between those 2 mindsets, I guess. So, so if you're with them, they're probably not very consistent. And if you're not with them, then they're constantly going backwards and forwards about whether they come back to you, whether they don't come back to you, whether they let you go, whether they stay with you, that kind of thing. So what do we have? So we've got Leo energy, Sagittarius and Aries. We've got Libra, Aquarius, and we've got Gemini. We've also got Scorpio, and we've got Aries energy. Let's get some message cards out. Pile number 3, please, on this person's recent thoughts. This person's recent thoughts about pile number 3 and the connection. Cupid's arrow. Have faith, love is coming. Surprise invitation or meeting. Hesitation. Then we've got butterfly. Relationship evolving to the next phase. Healing the inner child and growth. What else have we got? Passion. An insane chemistry. Like each other equally. Having fun. Clock. Need time, takes time, in time, cycles, time to heal, progress. Healing heart. Healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. All right. The Phoenix. New phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, changed mind. The last one is cassette. Outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. So again, it's the sort of like, there is all these cards, isn't there, about there being a lot of passion, about renewal, about coming forwards. But then you've also got, you know, the phoenix, rising from the ashes, transformation. But then you've got healing from heartbreak, freedom from a toxic relationship or addiction. And then outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. So to me, that's a sort of, again, a bit of a dual energy, really, for this person towards you and towards the connection. We also have needs time, takes time, cycles, that sort of stuff. But anyway, pile number 3, that has been your reading. I hope you've liked it. If you have and you want to appreciate it, you might want to subscribe, hit the notifications so you always know when I'm uploading. Maybe give me a thumbs up and a comment. All of that I'd love. Some of it would be great. Even one thing would be fantastic. But otherwise, have a great day. And I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now.